Welcome to Week 10 of Introduction to Media Studies. This week, we will explore the relationship between media and globalization. In this first video, I'll start with some definitions of what we mean by globalization, as well as outlining the key debate it has generated in media studies. In the second and third video, I'm going to discuss two competing perspectives about the debate over media globalization, cultural imperialism and cultural globalization, through the case study of Hollywood cinema. In the fourth and fifth video, I'll further explore the implications of the global popularity of non-Western media genres by analyzing the particular examples of Bollywood films and K-pop. John McGrew describes globalization as the intensification of global interconnectedness and goes on to highlight the multiplicity of these connections. He writes that, nowadays, goods, capital, people, knowledge, images, crime, pollutants, drugs, fashions, and beliefs all readily flow across territorial boundaries. Transnational networks, social movements, and relationships are extensive in virtually all areas. These interconnections are not new as such, but can be seen to have rapidly intensified through the 20th century and into the current era, largely as a consequence of the rise of new technology development in such realms as transportation and communication. Along the same lines, Arjun Abdurrahid offers a way of thinking about these increasingly global social, cultural, and economic flows through describing them as a set of related scapes. The ethnoscape describes the global movement of people across borders, such as the migrations of people and communities to the wealth centers of a globalized economy, creating international diasporas of particular ethnic groups and diversifying the ethnic mix within the societies they have migrated to. Second, Abdurrahid defines the mediascape as the global flow of media content and technologies. So, for example, as was mentioned last week, we could think about digital media technologies such as the internet and the compressions in time and space which result from these technologies, offering us instantaneous access to distant information, events, and people. Or we could think about the international reach of news networks such as CNN via satellite. And these technologies that cross borders also form part of what Abdurrahid describes as a wider global technoscape. In addition, the media are bound up with the so-called global financescape. This refers to the global flow of currency and global markets, as exemplified in the form of those global entertainment conglomerates we looked at in Week 5, whose interests extend across the world. It also refers to the increasing amount of international financial regulation brokered by organizations such as the World Trade Organization that transcends national boundaries and regulations in the service of a global capitalist system. Finally, Abdurrahid makes reference to global ideoscapes, referring to the global flow of ideas and ideologies. And it's regarding this flow of ideas and ideologies that much of the most intense debate over globalization has occurred. As Robertson explains, questions of the degree to which globalization encourages or involves homogenization as opposed to heterogenization and universalization as opposed to particularization are crucial. In other words, to what extent do global mediascapes, ethnoscapes, technoscapes, and financescapes produce a single, homogenized global culture in which we increasingly look, think, and act the same? Or does these global flows actually produce fragmentation and hybridization of identities and ideas, thus leading to cultural diversity on the global level? Underpinning this debate are the issues of social, cultural, and economic power and hierarchy between countries and regions in the world. We will seek answers to these questions from different theoretical perspectives in the next two videos.